Yes, section 310.15b2 applies to your described transformer setup, that is, a 480/277 volts step down to 208 volts y 120 volts 75 kilovolt amps transformer feeding a 200 amps panel. Section 310.15b2 concerns the maximum rating and ampacity of conductors. It states that the ampacity of conductors shall not exceed the maximum ampacity specified in Table 310.16 through Table 310.86 for the wire type and size used, considering the number of conductors in the raceway or cable. To determine if 250 kcmil conductors are indeed required for your scenario, let's go through the calculation steps. 1. Determine the secondary voltage of the transformer. In your case, this is 208 volts y 120 volts. 2. Calculate the secondary current. The transformer's kilovolt amps rating is 75 kilovolt amps. Using the formula kilovolt amps equals volts times amps, we rearrange to find the secondary current amps equals kilovolt amps divided by volts. So amps equals 75 kilovolt amps divided by 208 volts. This gives us a secondary current of approximately 360 amps. 3. Consider adjustments for directing if necessary. If you have 3 current-carrying conductors in a raceway or conduit, no directing is required under normal circumstances. If the conductors are in free air, then directing might be required. However, in the situation you have given, it may not be applicable. 4. Select conductors with an ampacity equal to or greater than the calculated secondary current. Table 310.16 shows that 250 kcmil THHN conductors have an ampacity of 320 amps. This meets the ampacity requirement of 360 amps. It doesn't meet the ampacity requirement, so the conductors would need to be larger. Therefore, based on the calculations and the specific requirement in section 310.15b2, 250 kcmil conductors are required to feed a 200 amps panel downstream of your described transformer, assuming the load requires that level of amperage on the secondary side. Note that other factors, such as voltage drop and specific installation conditions, could further influence the conductor size selection. You also need to verify the conductor temperature rating and determinations that both the transformer and the panel are rated accordingly. Consult the applicable electrical codes and regulations in your location for the most accurate and compliant solution, and consult a qualified electrical engineer.